Good morning, guys. I'm Jay Price, the inventor of SynciTRAGE, and in this video, we're going to show some live sourcing with the tool. For those who aren't here, this will be available for the replay, and that'll be on this YouTube channel. If you just want to look below, it is June 13th. And before we get started, I just want to explain a little bit what SynciTRAGE is. And so, it's a Chrome extension that will leverage existing technologies in order to generate very valuable, very profitable OA leads for you to resell on Amazon. And it is my intention to show you how that works, how the extension works, and then also to go through and talk about keepa analysis, variation analysis, and hopefully just overall deal analysis to help you guys make some smarter purchasing decisions. I have been selling full time on Amazon since 2017, so 5 years now, 5 years in September, and I think I started out with books, and then I've been doing OA and RA for about 4 of those 5 years now, with a heavy shift or focus on online arbitrage. So I know a little bit. I don't know a lot, but I know a little bit, and I think that I can. I will. It is my hope that I can effectively communicate the little that I know to help you guys find some profitable leads. So with all that being said, we'll go ahead and come over here to Brickseek. Um, and if you want some more information about SynciTRAGE, just go to syncitrage.com and you can get signed up there. Brickseek is necessary. You have to have an extreme membership with Brickseek. I think it's $29.99 a month, and that will grant you access to this online markdown feed that SynciTRAGE needs to work. I am not signed in right now. I ran one search so far earlier this morning. Other than that, nothing has been vetted. I haven't looked at anything yet. I've only ran that one search this morning that I recorded for you guys, and that's available on the YouTube channel now. So once you get signed in, you can close this page, refresh the Brickseek online markdown feed, and then you'll see a couple of things pop up. You'll see our search selection bar come up right up here, and then down here you'll see our display table controls, and because the extension now recognizes you as an authorized user. So what we want to do is we're going to run a newest search, a little bit different. um, Before this morning, we ran a markdown search, so it's going to prioritize the most markdown item in this number one spot, followed by the second most markdown item in this second spot. But we're going to run a newest search, and let's just run it for the past 3 hours. So what we're telling Brickseek now is like, hey, regardless of markdowns, or the percentage of markdowns, I want to see all of the discounted items ranked in terms of when they hit the feed. So right here is going to be the most markdown item. I'm sorry, the newest discounted item, and then here's going to be the second newest discounted item. And we're going to run from there. I'm going to clear the results that we have from this morning so we can get a fresh table. And with this morning, I ran a 40% minimum price difference. I'm going to run a 35. And what that is, it wants to know there's basically two initial filters. I call them the testing gates. This first one is your word exclusion. So there's certain items that are never profitable for resale. One, because they're too heavy, or because the risk of IP complaints is such that as soon as you buy the item, it may be at a great price, but you won't be able to resell it because you'll be locked up in IP prison. And we made some video, or we plan on making some content about IP and stuff like that. But like Velcro was one that's super super. I would highly encourage everybody to stay away from selling anything with the name Velcro in the title. But there's some other things like beds and mattresses and rings and necklaces that are just going to slow your search down. And so if you go click on to tutorial, we have this list on our website in the training section where all the other YouTube videos are, and you can see the suggested exclusionary words. Now you don't have to put that in there; it'll work with anything. But I wanted a way to speed up the searches a little bit faster, and I found that this was the best way to do it. Again, this will be set to 50% at default, but play around with it. I found that, especially with the newest markdown searches or the newest filters, I like to cast a super wide net, and so I'm willing to look at maybe a 35 or 40% price difference um, when it comes to that. I don't want to go any lower because it's hard to find items at that markdown level. They're going to have those profitable margins that you need. Your referral fee, we just put 15% there. Generally, that's the referral fee that you'll be paying um, for to Amazon. But it can be as low as 12% or as high as 17%. But 90% of the time is going to be 15%. And then you would need to tell SynciTRAGE what you consider to be a profitable lead, and that's these two filters down here. It's actually the keep it drops as well, but um, I like to cast a wide net, so I think the default is five. I'll $5 minimum net profit and 40% ROI. But I'm willing to, depending on the prep and the velocity, I'm willing to go a little bit lower just for me and my business and where I'm at right now, trying to get money spent. If it's easy to prep and it moves fast, I'm willing to drop that a little bit. And then I get a lot of questions on why do we use keeper drops and not sales rank. So we choose keeper drops because it's more consistent across all the categories that we typically use to see. Um, a 15,000 ranked toy does not move the same as a 15,000 ranked book, right? Those two things have much or very different velocity, and it's kind of hard to know that to memorize all of that. Um, um, just in your head. And so I like keeper drops instead. And usually what I tell people is 8 to 10 keeper drops in a 30-day time period usually equates to about 15 to 30 sales a month with keeper. So if you can kind of just remember that one thing, then you can kind of be um, a little bit more ahead of the competition. So I already cleared out the data. We're going to go ahead and get started and I'll talk you guys through this. So it's found 26 pages in our search, in our newest Markdown search. And of the 26, it's on page one right now. And on page one, it found 13 items that passed those first two tests. So it passed the exclusionary filter and it met the minimum price difference filters. And then it's going to go down and start doing the keep a checking for each one of these that passed the test. And you can see here we have a static 1 year keep a graph on our display table, followed by some numbers. So we have our old price, our new price, the difference, how many drops per month, on average, what is this item priced at, and this is what you should aim. This should be your price target here. It could be off by $1 or $2 or 1 or 2%, but that's usually what you should aim for. And that's just SynciTRAGE going back and looking at the Keepa data and making a determination like, hey, what does this item sell for on average, right? So here's your pick and pack fee. There's your net profit, your ROI. Here's all your links right here. This is a Macy's to Amazon flip. And so what again, I like to be as efficient as I can. And so, and some of the earlier versions of SynciTRAGE, it was before where you have to click the Amazon link and then come back and click the source link. Well, I always hated that. And so now we just have one button that opens up both the source link and um, the Amazon link. So that's super nice. And if we scroll over, well, let me say this. Usually I can make all of my purchasing decisions just with this information right here. So from the picture to the open button, I can make all of my sourcing decisions based off of that. But if you scroll over, you can see there's other information in here too, like your sales drops over 90 days and your sales drops over 180. And then if you want sales rank, there's your sales rank there if you're familiar with the category and you know what that sales rank number means for that particular category. You can also look at some of your averages. So here's the Amazon average versus the FBM average. And you can see that there's been no FBM sellers on this. And it's going through it and loading. That's why the page went away. But yeah, so if you wanted to do that, that's what you can do with SynciTRAGE. Now, these columns right now, you can pick them up and move them, but they can't be saved in place, not yet. We're working on that in a later version, but that's where we are right now. So we're going to let this run, and in the meantime, we're going to go over to Amazon, and we're going to look at some deals that I purchased in the past and the buy amounts, and we'll see. So let me pull some. All right. Um, Look at this one. All right. So we're just going to let that search, and this will take this search, the newest feed will usually take about 10 minutes to run, probably less than that. So not that long. But let's look at this. So I purchased this back on May 14th for $6.50 with a target sale price of 19.99. And you can see here's where I purchased it up here. So if you aren't familiar with this tool, this is AsinZen. It is, in my opinion, one of the best deal analysis tools on the market today. You can do so much with it. And I really, really like it. I've tried RevSeller, I've tried BuyBot Pro, I've looked at um, Seller Amp, and to me, this is one of the best ones out on the market today. So you can see that this was super profitable. This was $12 net profit, 64% margin. I don't know why it's not calculating the ROI. Um, Maybe because it's not enrolled in FB. No, it is. It definitely is. I don't know why. Oh, there it is. 96% ROI. I guess it just took a while to figure that. And I think I sold out of these, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and you can see the Keepa drop right here. And this is why I like SynciTRAGE so much and this sourcing method is because you're taking it. This deal was only available for an hour. So this was May 14th at 1:58 and maybe 6, 7 hours this was available for. And then it goes back up to price. And so it's really hard when you purchase that cheap to lose money on a deal. And I like this. I you could make the argument of like, hey, you sold too cheap at 1997 or 1999. You could have held out and sold it for a little bit more. And yeah, you could have. And that may be a strategy. But this is not. But 1997 making almost double your money is not bad on that. So that was one. Let's check back in with our search. We're on page 4 now. We'll go back over here and then let's choose some shoes and we'll talk about variation analysis a little bit. Come on. This morning my computer started running real slow because I had a bunch of programs open, as well as my security camera, so I cut those off. All right, so these shoes. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm not super familiar with common sizes in women's shoes. At least I wasn't when I first started doing this. And so I didn't know what size to buy or what color or anything like that. Because if you know anything about Keepa, this sales rank is shared amongst the entire parent-child relation, all the ASINs. So potentially hundreds of variations all share this sales rank. And so how do you tell which one to buy and which one not to buy? Or how do you tell which variation is driving this sales rank, right? And usually that's going to be your common sizes. So I think my buy cost on this was 24.99. Um, so 24.99. I set my price target at 65. Looking at last summer probably. Yeah. So let's look at the previous years. Yeah, I may have been a little overly optimistic with my sell price or with my price targets. I would say this is probably going to be a $50 sale. So let's take a look at this. So it's not bad, $9.80, 39% ROI. But what I wanted to focus on was variations. So if you, with Ace and Zen, why they're so good. So if you click on variations and then do your pop out right here, what they're going to do is begin to pull all of the reviews for all of these variations. And it can take a while sometimes, depending on how your settings are set up. I have mine so that they bring in variations over all time, but some people just use variations over a year. But I want to see the true depth of market because some of these listings I'm going to go quite um, wide but deep. I'm sorry, not deep, but wide over the number of variations I want to buy if I have the data to back it up. So reviews are just one part. We're gonna get kind of a good idea off of the reviews, and then we're gonna confirm that idea with movement in the offer count. And I'll show you what I mean here as soon as this finishes loads. And I think there's quite a bit for this, but we may be able to start doing that analysis here. And this is why AsinZen is so powerful with with variation viewers. So they take all of the reviews and they say, hey, of the 307 reviews, 140 of the reviews were for this color, or 42 of the reviews were for this size. And so typically a good rule of thumb, and I can confirm this just subjectively off my own personal experience selling online. The rule of thumb is it takes about 100 sales for somebody to leave one review. So that's quite a bit. And I remember I used to sell books, and first starting, I used to sell bulk books, and you're trying to wait for your seller feedback rating so you can be ranked and start to get your seller review up. And it took about 100 to 200 sales to get one review, and just for a seller review. And I find the same thing true with products. I have a private label product, and that's roughly about where it's at, unless it's a bad product. I've launched bad products before, not intentionally, and then people very quickly will leave you a bad review. But usually, if the product is ranked very well, you can get a review after about 100 units. So not everybody who's buying is leaving reviews, but that's a good rule of thumb to stick by. So what we want to look at here is, okay, well, our buy cost was 24.99, so we would first filter out by those items that we wanted to, um, the price that we wanted to purchase those at, and then I'm going to come up here and then sort by the highest to lowest in the review percentage. And I'm going to take a look at those. We can stretch this out a little bit. Let's see. It looks like our search is still going, so that's nice. Um, I'll stretch that out a little bit to see, okay, what's the most popular color? Well, the most popular color is this monument gray nubuck fabric. Um, and the most popular size is 8.5. Now, what happens if that's not available? The monument gray at this size. Would you buy the monument gray in a size 9.5? I would, because you can see 9.5 sales overall, and that still is the most popular color. And you can vice versa. If you had size 8.5, but like Monument New Buck without the fabric, whatever, I don't know why. That's probably the same color, but this is an old listing that got attached on, that got attached or is left on. I would still purchase this color if it was in the most popular size. That's just me. So then what we want to do is, okay, let's look at one of these that's not the top rated. Let's look at maybe one of these, right? Size 6, new navy nubuck fabric. So size 6 has 14 reviews. Navy nubuck fabric, that is a very popular color. You can say it's the second most popular color. What we're going to do is we're going to look at Keepa, and we're just going to confirm our suspicions with movement, or confirm or dispel them, as we say in the law enforcement community, with the movement in the offer count. So this bottom line down here in Keepa is the offer count. And what we would like to see is the movement in it going up and down, up and, well, not up all the time, but down is what we're looking for. And let me open this up on the Amazon page so we can see it a little bit better. But what we want to do is look for movement in that offer count to say, okay, this wasn't the best reviewed shoe, right? It only has 0.98 of all of the reviews. That's this review percentage, but which is not very high. But if that's all they had available, we can look at the keep it as soon as I can find it. Oh, come on. There we go. And you can see like, hey, this does have some movement in the offer count, right? And maybe on these are some of the listings I looked at when I was being overly optimistic at the $65 mark. But there's definitely up and down movement in the offer count, and it's going real crazy right here because people are buying up this discounted item, um, resellers as well as normal consumers. And I know I've mentioned in videos before that Brickseek isn't just for resellers. In fact, it's not for resellers. They structured it for the normal consumer as a deal website, but we can still take advantage of that information to find some profitable leads. All right, so let's see how our searches work. So we're on page 15. I didn't think we were going to go that far, probably because our minimum price difference is 30% ROI. But we'll let it run. We've been, how long have I been jabberjawing for? About 18 minutes. We probably started that search maybe 15 minutes ago. So we'll let it run. If we get to page 25, we get to page 25. And in the meantime, so that was variation analysis. I want to show you guys some Keepa analysis, which we kind of did a little bit of, um, but I wanted to show you one from this morning when I was looking at picking out a price. And it was, let me see if I still have them. Hold on one second, guys. Let me see if I can find this. ASIN. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them up in the chat, and I'll get to them for sure. Here we go. Okay, so there's the ASIN. I bought this on this morning session, and I bought it for 34.95, I believe. You see the price is back up to 129. Now, before you get too excited, you're like, oh my goodness. See, this is more realistic to me. I bought size 9 and 9.5. So let's look at the size 9. Oh man, my computer's running slow because of all these software. I may need to upgrade my RAM. So that's not the color I bought. I bought size 9. I bought 9 and 9.5. So you could see, like, dang, that's crazy profitable, right at that $130 price mark. And it may hit that mark, but I don't think that it will. So my price target for this was actually, I think, $85 and purchasing for 34.97. So that's my price target. And let me tell you why. So if you look at Keepa, let me just use this helpful button that AsinZen puts in. So if you look at Keepa, what and again, it's so just trust that this was one of the most reviewed shoe size and color. So we'll trust that, and but then we have to confirm it again with the movement in the offer count, right? And so you see the movement in the offer count here at this 85 to $90 price range, and it does go up a little bit to 100, but that's not the price it is consistently, right? And then look at this. As soon as the price is up here at 129.95 and it stays there, you see almost no movement in the offer count. Now, this may not be an outright price rejection, but it definitely causes some concern. And I wouldn't base a buy off of this amount. Let's just say it was priced a little bit higher at 50 or $60 and trying to sell it at 129. I wouldn't do that. But I like to just look at kind of upside potential versus the risk. And if I can hit this price target at 87, I'm still making, what is this? 83% ROI at $85. That's $30 in my pocket right then and there. And I know for sure if Amazon is out of stock or if it's this third party seller at 129 and I come in at 80, I could probably come in at 90 $95 and get the sale, get the buy box right away and get that sale. Now I'm not an advocate for price dropping, but I don't think that this item sells that well at that price. Furthermore, and I talked about this morning, I tend to think that buyers get buyer remorse more and your returns are more when they see when stuff is like this, um, and versus when they say, okay, well, this was, and again, this is totally subjective, but and if you guys have differing opinions, I would love to hear them. But I think that and that buyers will say, you know what, I got this for $80. This is not bad. Versus I paid $130 for this and they're leopard print shoes. You know, shout out to my mom. She likes leopard print. But I don't know. That's just kind of like my subjective thing. I think resale, especially arbitrage in this day and age, is a little bit of an art and a science. And I think if you're gonna source, why not do it smart? I mean, we have the data available to us. We should do it as smartly as possible. So that's a little bit of keep analysis there. Yeah, and I ended up buying three of the size nines and three of the size 9.5. So I probably could have bought the eights. I don't know why I didn't. Um, but yeah, so that's what I got. All right, so this is on page 19. We're just gonna continue to let this run. I see Stephen Farrow up in the participants meeting. What up, Stephen? How are you doing, man? Let's do some more analysis while we let this finish running. And typically, how I will run SynciTRAGE is um, I will run a newest markdown search in the morning, and throughout the day, I'm sorry, in the morning I'll run a markdown search. I keep saying newest markdown. In the morning I'll run a markdown search, and then in the afternoon or after my big, 8-hour search, I'm running the newest search. and typically 3 hours or less because I just want to see the stuff that in that short window to be able to run these short searches. But yeah, so let's look at. So Stephen asked a question: What is Zip Sniffer? Very good question, Stephen. So when we first made SynciTRAGE, we wanted to take advantage. When you subscribe to the um, Extreme membership, you get the online markdown feed, but you also get the local markdown feed. Come on, Brickseek. And we wanted to take advantage of both of these feeds. So if you go over here to members area, you see Extreme members. Guys, you'll make that 39 or the 29.99 back like day one. I can't offer any guarantees, but that's like nothing compared to the information that Brickseek is providing. So I highly encourage you to go and subscribe to the Extreme membership plan. But I'll show you what the Zip Sniffer is. So I wanted to take advantage of both the online markdown feed and the local markdown feed. But the local markdown feed on the back end works completely different than the online markdown feed. And the opportunity was with the online markdown feed. So that's where we chose to stay. So, but let's look at this for an example. So we have this Craftsman plastic truck tool box tray, right? And let's say you wanted to go on a sourcing trip to go and find these. So, Steven, what's your zip code, man? I'll put some zip codes in around me. So I know 75001. Um, and I got 92392. That's Cali. Stevens is 02330. So I put that in wrong. 92392 is Cali and 02330. So let's just say you're a big time in the RA, right? And you have a network across the country. What I wanted to be able to do is for a manager, right? You or our manager to put different zip codes in and then sniff all those zip codes. I know it's stupid, but sniff all those zip codes and find, hey, Brickseek, run a search with this zip code for this item. And then that way you can push out a list based off a zip code to your individual shopper. Or how I was using it, because I don't have shoppers across the country, how I was using it is saying, hey, if I live in Wichita, Kansas, right? So I can go north to Nebraska, I can go west to Colorado, I can go south to Oklahoma and Texas, or east to Kansas City and Missouri, right? If I wanted to take a trip based off of this item. What I would do is look up zip codes that were 100 miles away from me or more, and say, okay, maybe I'll go north, south, east, or west based off of this. Because if I look at 67216, we got 40 in stock at an average price of this for a total profit of this. Now, this tool is not 100% built out yet, but I still wanted to put it out here because it won't show you like the average overall price. But if you do that work on the front end to say, this item is selling for this amount, then you can roughly say, well, maybe I go to Wichita, right? Or maybe we go hit up, I think this is Dallas. Yeah, maybe I go to Dallas and they have 102 in stock for an average in stock price of 2167. Or maybe we go hit up California. I wouldn't recommend it. That's my home state and it's garbage. But maybe we go hit up California and source there, or maybe we go hit up where is Steven at, and Massachusetts, and go visit Steven and go shop all his stores, all the Lowe's in his area. So that's what the Zip Sniffer is. That was the idea behind it. It's not 100% complete in terms of like getting your accurate fees and the over average overall price to be able to determine profitability, but it will work. I mean, we already wrote the code, so why not give it to you guys? It will work when you're using it to determine like, okay, what direction should I go to, and how can I determine what I should go chase and what I shouldn't. So that was the idea behind it. I hope that answers your question, Steve. All right, so where are we at on this? All right, so page 22 of 24. We are 30 minutes in. This probably has been running about 20 minutes or so. So, and you can view your current search results and start sourcing from there if you wanted to. So, like this, for example, I don't know what happened to it. Did it the late load? There it is. You could click into here and start to source these items if you wanted to. Um, so this looks like it's an Amazon to Walmart flip, or maybe an Amazon to Amazon flip. Amazon has it at 17.99, but on average it sells at 27, an estimating net profit of 28 cents and a 2% ROI. So I'm not even going to click on that one. It'll Let's talk about these terms right quick, 'cause I don't think I did a good job of that this morning. So, does that meet criteria? What that means is that, hey, we found this ASIN connected to this UPC. We understand the buy price, and it does not meet the criteria that you set forth, which is the keeper drops, the minimum net profit, and the ROI. Now, just because something doesn't meet your criteria, SynciTRAGE says it doesn't mean you shouldn't go take a look at this stuff. And I'll show you guys when we finish our search results. Meets criteria says, hey, we found this UPC connected to this ASIN, and it meets your criteria. It's the cream of the crop. It's very profitable. You should look at this item. Um, Now, there are some mismatches, right? We don't have a whole lot, but there are some mismatches. And the reason why is, let's just say we have this box of Kleenexes, right? It's allergy season, so I got a lot of these. Um, this UPC on the bottom of this box is for the single box, but people, when they create bundles, will also use this UPC to sell a six pack. And so oftentimes you'll see this in the grocery category. Somebody will make a listing in Amazon for a six pack of Kleenex boxes selling for $14.99. And then Brickseek will say, oh, snap, Walmart has these Kleenex boxes for $1, right? So you buy six boxes at $1, that puts your buy cost at $6, and selling them at 14, that doesn't leave a whole lot of room for profitability. So there are mismatches with SynciTRAGE. I want to make that known and make sure that you are fully aware of that. Recently, we had one which is really weird on a Lenovo laptop. Brickseek had matched the UPC to, I want to say it was like an idea pad from IBM. Um, or I don't know whoever makes the idea pad, but it was a complete mismatch, and I had never had that happen before. Usually our mismatches are in the grocery category. So like, look at this baby food. This is probably going to be a mismatch because it's a pack of 8, and if they can match it to an ASIN, it's going to be um, it'll probably be the single case. We'll take a look at that and see. So we're on page 23. They're checking these last five. There's another feature. Let's just say, hey, this Colonial Mills, I don't want to wait around for this. Well, I can't show you now because all the buttons are gone because it's actually analyzing stuff. I'll show you on the next page. But let's just say, an LOL. I don't think I can't sell McFarlane toys. But let's say it was LOL, or like I can't sell Levi jeans popped up, and you didn't want to wait around for it to do the analysis on that item. What you can do is, and I'll show you here in a minute, you can actually delete that from the table for consideration. So we'll do it with this ink stuff. You can just hit delete and hit OK, and it'll take it off the table. Or if you didn't want to source whatever games, anything like that. All right, so we'll let it finish running, and then it stops. There's supposed to be a button that pops up. It may have, oh, it popped up over here on the wrong screen. Okay, that was weird. Um, so the button popped up and said, hey, it finished running. So now what we can do is go to view, and we'll show you guys some stats real quick. So if it's red, that means it didn't find the product. If it's yellow, it means it didn't find a mat, or it didn't meet your criteria. And if it's green, it means it met your criteria. But instead of going through each one of these line items or filtering the page, what we can do is come up here and click meets criteria, hit apply. So it filtered 148 items down to 8, and 8 of these meet your criteria. And we'll see if these make any for any good buys. So let's close some of this stuff out because some of my friends will have like a million open tabs and I can't stand it. So let's look at this. So this is a collar item. It's an Amazon flip, um, sourced at 1382, and let's see what our average sale price is. 24.75. So this is one I might stay away from. Not because of the profit and the ROI, but because of the velocity. And I bet that this is going to be a variation, and it is. I I just don't think, unless there was a clear-cut winner for this one. Well, let's just look. So we'll pop that out. We'll format our price to only show us those price targets that we're interested in, which is this one. We can even do a summary reviews per variation. So this is the 1 inch wide medium. 1 inch wide, fits 11 by 17. Let's stretch this out some. There we go. So you could see that that one has no reviews. Let's confirm or dispel our suspicion, and there's no movement in the offer count. So I would stay away from this because of those reasons. But if it was good, right? If there was movement in the offer count, if it was a favorited review, then I might take a stab at it because if it moved a little bit faster, only because you can throw this into a poly bag and slap a label on it and get it out the door. No problem. It's nothing at all to prep. It might even come in a poly bag already. That's the beauty to Amazon. Amazon Flips is half the time they come prepped for you, so it's really nice. So that one is a no-go. Let's look at this one. It looks like I like the keeper graph. It seems stable. I don't like to see this though. I don't like to see the buy box below the Amazon price. Um, and also this kind of looks like a late bloomer to me, like a recent price spike. And we're buying it from 20 with a attempt plan to sell it at 40. Well, we'll take a look. Let's take a look. Again, this is a variation. I'm gonna need this to be one of the top variations, I would say. So let's see what we're looking at. Always forget to check. So if you scroll on down here, we'll just close that out while it loads the reviews. Maybe not. I think I need a new computer if I'm going to be doing this. This is terrible. Close out. Okay, I guess we're not closing it out. But I want to see which one of these styles that we had selected. Maybe we can see it from here. Annie Zodiac, silver finish. Let's just refresh and see if we can. Non-precious metal. Pisces. Okay. You can see the style right here, Pisces. So let's see how the Pisces performs. So Pisces has one review of the 13. And now let's look for movement in the offer count. And there is movement in the offer count. The buy box is at 25, but Amazon is at 30 or is at 32. I don't like that. And then they merge right here. And you can see over the past month, the buy box has been about 30 bucks. So let's take a look at this. I don't think this is going to be one I'm going to mess with. It does move fast though. You know what? I probably would buy one or two of these. In anticipation of it going back up and just to get the data point, really to see, hey, is this going to stick around or can I hit my price target? At 30 bucks, I don't like it, but at the 90-day price, I do like it at 35. I probably would buy one or two just to get the data point. I wouldn't recommend this. Like if I was putting out a lead list, I wouldn't put this on the list. I guess if that helps you guys make any determination. All right, let's take a look at this. So there's our static, and this is exactly how I source. The first thing I do when I come to this is I'm looking at the static chart. So we got most of it is at 25. We got a couple price drops. They get bought up, and then Amazon goes right back up to normal price. So I like this. And not price matching. I definitely like to see this. I like to see other retailers at back up or near the average overall price. I'd like to see that. So Amazon is at 12.38. Our average price. We'll take a look at this to confirm. A set of clippers. And of course, get logged in Amazon to make sure you can still sell this item. 12.34. That's not bad. I mean, it's moving thousands of times per month. There's only what three variations. Um, we're looking at ASIN ending in V9C, and let's see how many review. Oh, let's just look at this. We can come over here to review percentage, and V9C is the second most, very close, second most popular variation. So I definitely would buy this. Um, let's see what the limit is. Doesn't tell you. You have to go to checkout to find out. Um, but yeah, I definitely would buy this. There's lots of movement in the offer count. If the other one was priced cheap as well, I would buy it, but it's not. This one is the only one out of the parent child set that is that price. So I definitely would purchase that. Um, yeah, and granted, this is with all the fees included. So this is with inbound shipping, 2 months of storage, prep, and what else? Oh, this surcharge price that Amazon decided to throw at us. So that's with all those fees. You're still walking out with 580, 47, $47. I definitely would purchase that. All right, let's look at these Mark Josephs. So I don't like to see these price inconsistency all up and down the board, especially if I'm paying $37 for these boots. I don't I don't even want to open this, to be honest with you. It moves a little bit slower than I would like, and I don't like that price stability. Let's take a look at this. So sourcing for 10, Jojo Siwa, selling for 23. Says we're making 480, 47 bucks a month. Let's take a look. And we're not competing with Amazon. Looks like they're out of stock. So if you're not set up with tax exempt on Walmart, I would highly recommend you do that. It's like a 5 minute process, and Walmart is still in stock. So we're not paying any tax from Walmart. But let's just say, for example, if we did, I'll show you guys a trick real quick that AsinZen is good at. You can do mathematical calculations in the buy box field. So we're going to do $10 and then the asterisk, which symbolizes multiplied. And my sales rate or my sales tax rate in Kansas is 7.5%. So we'll do 1.075 and we'll get our tax calculator right there. So if we did have to pay tax, we are looking at 39% ROI, $4 net profit, but I don't pay tax, not at Walmart at least, and it gives another 10% ROI. I'm down with that. So I like this. It's selling 28 times a month is what they're estimating. And even when Amazon Cut does come back in stock, they're at the price we need to be at. So the downside risk is very limited to me. I love to see this trend in the offer count going down. Yeah, I like this one a lot, so I'm buying that as well. All right, let's continue on. Circus, these are super popular sandals right now for some reason. I've probably spent 3 grand on these sandals since February. Um, they do very well, I'll say that much. Uh, I didn't buy them for this much though. I bought them for like $11 when I purchased them. And it may be a different color or size. But look at this Keepa chart. So I and yeah, I don't really like these ones because again, you have that separation between the buy box and the Amazon price. I just don't like that. I don't know why, but I mean, I know why. I should just buy it to get the data point to confirm my suspicion or dispel it. But I don't like that there's not stability here, right? Um, and I don't know why. And so, because I don't know if we can trust this dip at 24 just to go back up to, what is it, 50, if the buy box doesn't follow. And so you can see that the buy box history is very recent at this price. Um, and yeah, I don't like that necessarily. I might buy one or two of these, but I definitely, if I was producing a lead list, I would not put that on the lead list. Um, I don't like this either because this is a recent price spike and it's too close to the source price is too close to the price that this thing is normally at. So I'm skipping on this too. And then Levi's. I can't sell Levi's pants. I wish I could because hot dang, they drop the price and go back up very quickly on a bunch of different styles. I wish I could sell Levi's pants, but I could just look at the Keepa graph right now and say, yeah, I would buy these. I would definitely buy this dip at 1993, or it's not even a dip. You're sourcing from Macy's to sell on Amazon at 40, 50 bucks. I definitely would consider purchasing these if I only could. All right, so that's the meets criteria. Let's look at the does not meet criteria. and hit apply. And let's see what we got. Let's close out my tabs. All right, so now we got 135. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to get rid of the negative ROI. I'm going to get rid of the negative net profit. And I'm also going to say, you know what? I only want to see stuff with a 25% ROI. Again, sticking to my philosophy of I want to cast that wide net. And I know I'm getting late here. I'm about 45 minutes in. But I want to cast that wide net and hopefully, see some good stuff. All right, so this is not bad. So we got another 6 entries here that kind of meet our criteria, our subjective criteria. So let's see why this didn't meet. And probably because they stopped tracking the sales rank. And this is a perfect example of why you should go through that does not meet criteria. Because for whatever reason, either they stopped tracking the sales rank. You can see the green line right here. Um, but you can still make money on this item. So let's just confirm our suspicion. So sourcing from Target uh, or Amazon in this case, so that's nice because you can kind of go a little bit deeper. So it's the DVD combo only. I'm a big Ryan Reynolds fan. He's super funny to me. It's probably the middle school kid inside of me laughing at all of his jokes. All right, so you can see the 90-day average of this is $17. We're sourcing from Amazon for $7. It's $2 after all the fees. I'm probably skipping on that. My minimum I like to see is at least three. But if you don't have to pay a prep person, right, or you don't have to worry about a warehouse or anything like that, I mean, we can come in here and see our profitability. What am I always forget which one to click on. Here it is. It's this I right here. So you can see that uh, $3.07 for fulfillment, a dollar for inbound or 1 penny for inbound shipping. So yeah, I'm probably gonna pass on this only because it's not right at where I need it to be, especially the recent one. But it's definitely worth looking at, and we can see the Keepa. Let's zoom in on this. Why it didn't meet criteria. Um, how do I? Let's turn off everything but the sales rank so we can see exactly where it stops. It's still not showing us. But there we go. So you can see they stopped tracking the sales rank. This was sub 1,000 in the DVD category, sub 500, and they stopped tracking the rank January 7th. And so I would definitely consider, I would encourage you guys to look at the does not meet criteria because you can find some hidden gold there, I like to say. Let's look at this. So this one just didn't connect to a Keepa graph. It looks like there's no Amazon chart. Um, let's look at open, see what we can get. AZ Insight does have a tool here called Insight 360 where you can find a ASIN off of Amazon. I'm sorry, you can search Amazon's catalog off of Amazon. We also have a feature in SynciTRAGE to where you can get Keepa data, a dynamic Keepa chart off of Amazon, which is really what you see down here, and it's all UPC related. So you can see that in the winter months, this thing is not doing so well. It went out of stock, it looks like. No, it didn't go out of stock. I was wrong. And then it started selling for whatever reason at $20. It's kind of hard to believe people paying this much for some crayons, but let's um let's see see what we can get out of this. So, but I did want to show you AZ Insight's tool, ASIN or Insight 360. So you just highlight text, and then you come over here, you right-click that text, and you come down here to Insight 360, and then you hit your US. Let me take a drink. Sorry about that. All right, so this is 64 count. Um, I don't know what size. This is a weird title to me. But it looks like it might be a match. We'll take a look at that. Take a look at that. All right, so those are the only two. 6 boxes. 3 times 6 is what, 18? I'm probably gonna pass on that one, but we'll look at these. So this is probably gonna be a no-go just because the average prices aren't gonna um, be enough. Yeah, you can see. I like to look at the averages because if you can look at the past and make some events, make some predictions about current events, you it will go well with you. All right, so let's look at some more of these. So why didn't this meet criteria? Because the keeper drops. So let's see if it went out of stock. Let's just look at this one, for example. You can source from Amazon or Walmart on this one. Both are tax-free sites, and Walmart has different sizes. I don't know who's buying their pet a hoodie right now, so that could be another reason why. It's because the velocity has died down. Um, but what you could do is like, see, I kind of like this because you're going to be the only one in the game besides, well, looks like I guess there's 5 people in the game. It went out of stock, and then 6 other people came on. Last summer, you could see it spent most of its life down here at 15, and then the price shot back up as we start to get into the fall. So if you could buy and hold this until September, which depending on how your cash flow is, I wouldn't recommend. I'm not going to purchase this because the upside potential from, if we just look at 27, right? 27 and selling at 905. Let's look at the upside potential. So 87% ROI, making $8. And you could see, I mean, it is popular. So if I could find the popular size, I might look at this. Um, I know pet people are crazy and they buy a lot of stuff for their pets. Um, I might buy, I'm not buying, $100 worth, but I might buy 20 or $30 worth, 2 or 3 units, and leave them in my warehouse merchant fulfilled. But I wouldn't put on the lead list if that helps. All right, so Chuck It, another dog toy. So it looks like we're purchasing this for $5 with a plan to sell at $16. And we're looking for a $4 net profit. This will probably come in a box or a bag. Let me take a look at this. And yeah, we're almost done. So I like this because of velocity. It's moving and grooving really fast. Um, 5, 10. Again, I want to see that $3. I don't see it here, so I'm probably going to pass on this. I mean, you got to have a line in the sand, right? Because if not, you'll just buy everything. But if you didn't have the same expenses that I had and you could get $3 out of this, I might take a stab at this. All right. Oh my goodness. Look at this drop. Why didn't it meet criteria? Because we're looking for 30% ROI. That's why. And we just missed it. So I mean, look at this thing. I would do my variation analysis, but this thing is super stable at $80, and then you're buying it for 47. There's definitely room for profit there. Um, and why didn't this meet criteria? Probably because of sales rank. Yeah. I don't know who's buying 1,000 Ziploc bags. Sounds kind of illicit. All right, so let's look at does or no match found. So we'll hit apply. First, we'll clear out these numbers. We can just delete them though. And how I use no match found is I'm looking at these, and if it is a well-known brand like Craftsman, I'm going to use that AZ Insight 360 tool, and I'm going to try to find that item on here. I'm sorry, that was the wrong thing. I'm going to try to find that item and match it to something. That's not a match. And I usually will find a match about once a week that's worth buying on this. I don't I like again I'm not looking at this Mackinac or Colonial Mills. I might look at these Kula Bear bins because Kula Bear by UGG is a well-known brand. But I'm not just gonna search toddler jumping beans leggings. And I mean I could be missing out, but I'm not doing that. So just to recap, I am off of the meets criteria. I'm buying multiple items multiple times a day off the meets criteria. That does not meet criteria. I'm finding something on here at least once a day that's worth purchasing. And then the no match found, it's probably once a week that I'm able to find something on here and sell and find something for resale. So, guys, that is SynciTRAGE in a nutshell. If you are interested in uh, purchasing it or downloading, you can go to SynciTRAGE.com. We are listed in the Chrome extension store. I'll be super excited to have you guys. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And you guys have a good one. All right, I'll talk with you later. Bye.